working class background in pulp and paper towns in northern Quebec. And she taught herself many skills and languages over the years. She was always a very charming person when I met her. Of course, I knew Jean very well over the years as well, and the family. We were at the wedding of their only daughter, Frinds, when she married Andy Desmarais in, I think, about 1980 or 81. And so we had a very cordial and friendly relationship over the years. And she was absolutely indispensable to the success of Jean Chrétien, and I think he'd be the first to tell you that.
Tell me a little bit more about that relationship, because we've heard from many people about her being the trusted advisor and maybe perhaps getting the last piece of advice in before you made any decisions.
Yeah, well, that's basically the way it was, as I understand it. But I'm not surprised because, political wives, and I mean that in the best sense of the word, or spouses, as it has come to be known, play an indispensable role with regard to the Prime Minister, or she becomes his trusted advisor. When you're at 24 Sussex, the home itself becomes a sanctuary because you're getting kicked around and blasted every day in the media outside. And it's within those four walls that you can have perfect peace and understanding. And in his case, and in mine, his wife really had a lot to say about policy judgments on people. And in my case, as I've heard about Jean, was that when he did not take her advice, he recognized that he made a mistake. And I know that to be true because of the same thing with me.
When you mentioned that she came, as you did, from a working class background, how do you think that affected her ability to deal with different kinds of people? What you have to do when you're in that position?
Well, I say that because I came from the same kind of background, and so I admired her for her ambition and her discipline and her focus. And she was in the Liberal Party, and among crowds of the Liberal Party, she was known as a wise counselor and a very generous person, very thoughtful person. Kept Jean on an even keel at all times. And as I say, she realized that the upper reaches of political authority in Canada can be pretty tough. And she didn't want him to lose his moorings. And she was constantly available to him, obviously, to give him sound, unvarnished advice that only a wife can give a husband in those circumstances. Advisors to the Prime Minister have to kind of back off sometimes, and they can't be as straightforward as they'd like to be in certain circumstances. But there was no such inhibition for Aline, that's for sure. She told him exactly what it was like, and she didn't polish the apple in any way. She was an elegant, thoughtful, extremely impressive First Lady for the Prime Minister, Prime Minister Chrétien, when he was in office, and highly effective for him, highly effective politically for him on the campaign trail and elsewhere.
Did she like the spotlight,
I don't think she did. I don't think she did. She endured it because it was necessary for the Prime Minister to have her there and for his success as well. But she certainly never sought out the spotlight. She was uncontroversial in that way, and she never made headlines that were negative. I'll tell you that. Anything that was associated with her was good, and it also advanced her family's interests. She was a devoted mother. She loved her family, her children dearly, and her husband as well. And that's why so many thousands of people in Canada who had the privilege of knowing her will deeply regret her passing tonight.
Former Prime Minister Brian Mulroney on the line with us tonight, sir. Thank you for